Has the cool merch shipped out? I'm going to talk about that. I'll be talking about it in the call. The answer is no. Everything is ready and ready to be shipped out, but there's a reason why it hasn't been shipped out yet. I'll be talking about that in the call. In fact, I think you can see some of the packing material behind Ankur.
I have the boxes, packed boxes right next to me.
Ah,
If I just turn around.
I mean, yeah, you can kind of show it. It won't give away
Yeah,
the
right? I
surprise of
mean,
what's
yeah, I
in it.
don't really surprised.
Yeah, you can turn around and show all the
These are just
boxes.
black
They're
boxes.
just racked over there in the corner. All right, let me share my screen. I think we'll get started. Are Indians the only benefactors in this project? No, not at all. Baba FX, I mean, there's benefits on both sides. So benefits of access to cheaper, faster internet. That's only for Indians right now, the end consumers who access our network. But anyone from around the world can participate in our network. Think of it as like leasing out a Wi-Fi miner, a crypto miner in India, and it is managed and taken care of for you. So as more and more people use your device in India, your rewards also increase. Okay, let me just get my screen up and running. I think we're good to go. All right, is my screen visible?
Yes, so
All right. Awesome. Okay, so let's jump into it, guys. Great to see many of you here. Love to see the turnout. Thanks for everyone for making the time and joining in. My name is Don. I take care of a bunch of things at Dabba. It's a pretty good office space for a startup. Are you talking about my space or the space that Ankur is in? Ankur is in the actual office. This is my home office space. Yeah, we have a pretty big office space in Bangalore because we also build hardware, right? If Ankur, move a little to your right. No, your other right.
oh yeah, the hardware side.
Yeah, so you can see that's where our hardware devs, they're probably out for the night, but that's where they generally sit and they're tinkering. Right now, they're working on lasers. They're making a more compact version of the laser. And to Ankur's other right is the clean room where actual, stuff is put together. You can show, you have to move your laptop to the right.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's the clean
that's
room where things are assembled. Yeah, we do have quite a big office. We do have quite a few people. Operations intensive company, so we need bodies on the ground working on things. Anyway, so great to
it's
see
probably
everyone. Thanks.
late right now, but
Yeah,
like you have a much filled office. Yeah,
during the
for the
day.
end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 9 p.m. in India right now, so everyone is pretty much gone back home. Ankur is the only hardworking guy, apart from I see a couple of the
We have the devs still working.
yeah, some of the devs are still working in the background,
Yeah, they're not leave.
getting ready for TG coming up. Okay, anyway, we're getting distracted way too much.
All right.
Great to see everybody. Thanks for joining in. As you can see from the slide, it says Dabba Working Group. So for those of you who haven't joined the working group before, we're taking the working group format and we're bringing it to the town hall. Everyone has said that the working group format has been really great, that the discussions that we have on the working group is really great, and that's kind of what everyone's expecting from kind of these weekly calls with us. So we're going to bring the working group to the public. We're going to keep it general and open for everyone. Everyone can participate. So we're probably going to have this call once every 2 weeks. We probably won't do it every week because it takes a little bit too much out of our schedules right now, especially as you guys know, there's a lot happening. So probably once every 2 weeks we'll have a set call, a town hall or working group. We'll probably change the name back to town hall. Have that every 2 weeks, Thursdays at 9 p.m. For everyone to join in. We will start recording these calls again. So Ankur is recording this call right now. You're recording this call, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
great. And yes, so let's jump into it. As always, if you guys have questions, please ask your questions in chat. We will answer every question that you guys ask. If you want to come up on stage towards the end of the call, and if you want to talk to us, feel free to raise your hand. There's an option to raise your hand on the top right. Click on that button, and we'll invite you on stage to talk to us. All right. So, like I said, this is the new town hall. This is a place that is open to all. This is where we will interact with the community directly, especially as the community will start ramping up significantly over the coming months. You guys can already see that the community has been growing a little slowly, step by step, right now. And we're seeing some tractions on a couple of things that we're doing. Now is the time that we're going to start pouring in more resources into those initiatives to see more and more growth across our different channels over the next couple of months, right? So the focus is on progress. For those of you who have joined these working group calls before, they can sometimes get a little lengthy. We talk a lot about updates, what's happening with the company, what is our progress so far, and the direction we're taking. So it sometimes does get a little extended, becomes a little long. So grab a snack, get something to drink, take some notes, and make sure you ask your questions. And it says this call is not recorded. That's a lie. It is actually being recorded, and we will update with the recording and post call notes within the next 48 hours. So within 2 days, we'll make sure we put up the recording as well as minutes of the call. Ankur will be posting that. Okay, recap. Now, for those of you who haven't joined the working group before, you might be wondering what is a recap. We haven't been a part of this yet. This will start making sense for you from next week. But basically, what we do on every call is we recap a bunch of the stuff that we talked about on the previous call and just get an idea where we're standing right now and the things that we're working on. So, first thing, Hotspotty campaign has been running for about 2 weeks now. Um, it's doing okay. About 100 hotspots sold on that. Not too many, but it also helped us understand how we generally want to work on our funnelings with such projects. The campaign is still not over. We still have a couple of more pushes that we're working on with our community. So we should sell a decent number of hotspots. I am guessing anywhere between 300 to 400 hotspots to the hotspotty community. But it was a good kind of first draft and kind of a pilot with these kind of communities and how we want to approach sales with those communities. Side by side, I've been speaking to other similar communities. So, guys like Mokin and Helium Deploy and projects like that, we are already talking to them, putting together proposals of very similar initiatives with them as well. Merch is ready to ship. We will be shipping them very soon. For those of you in India, will know that it is raining cats and dogs across the country, and in Bangalore especially, the rains are heavy. There's flooding in certain places, so we don't want to risk shipping just yet. We're going to give it a couple more days, let the rain settle down a bit, and then we'll make sure shipping gets out. Our Drip House artist page should go live over the month of August. Now, for those of you who don't know what Drip House is a NFT platform, a very popular NFT platform for artists to showcase their work and get rewarded for their work. Sorry, let me just put my phone on silent. So you might be asking, but what does Dabba have to do with such a platform? Well, we know that we need to do fun, cool stuff around our project as we're growing. So we're using Drip House as kind of a way to showcase our journey over the last 8 years and the different things that we've done through Drip House. So what's basically going to happen is we're going to have different Indian artists who are going to create various NFTs using Indian style art, and those NFTs will represent different parts of our journey as a company. So it's just a fun thing. Uh, we don't have to pour a lot of resources into that. It's just a great way to kind of showcase who we are, what we've done, and tell our story in a fun way and that in a way that really connects with the Web3 audience as well. Velvet Doctor asks, is there a deadline for Zeely Quest? Yes, the deadline for Zeely is TGE. So the Zeely Quest will run up till TGE. So yes, so Drip House, we have our first artist. She's already selected. Her name is Ayushi. She's what's the name of that art form again? Rumor,
Mandala
the
artwork.
mandala art. Yes,
Mandala.
she is
Yes.
a mandala artist. She's gonna make our first four NFTs, and these are actual hand-drawn artworks that will be converted into NFTs, and each of those NFTs will represent different milestones that we have achieved along the way. So something super fun and exciting. We always like to do fun things, as you've seen with like our stalls and stuff like that. Um, yeah. How will Zeely Quest rewards be distributed? They'll be weighted. So if you notice on Zeely, there is a leaderboard. So the Zeely Quest, that's the next item on the recap. So I might as well talk about it. We've allocated 5 million DBT to the Zeely Quest. Now we didn't want to make the Zeely Quest two-dimensional. We didn't want to keep it something as simple as just follow us and get some tokens. We didn't want to do it that way, so we're using Zeely as a way to combine our different activities with different projects. So for those of you who are participating in, say, collecting the hotspot NFT, you have to you have to get into Zeely in order to claim the rewards against that NFT. So we're kind of using Zeely as a way to centralize a lot of these activities. It makes it a lot easier for us to manage as well. Um, we will put a lot more effort into kind of promoting that and make sure there's more eyeballs in the coming months. And I'll be talking about how that's going to happen in the coming slides. So yes, we put a reasonable amount of muscle behind the Zeely Quest. We'll be using it not we're going to try to avoid as much farming there as possible by making sure there are tasks that are meaningful. Rumor has put in some fun quizzes. I'm sure you guys have already checked out some of those quizzes. Some people are already upset saying they're too hard. I don't think they're very hard, but yeah. uh, it's a great
Yeah,
place
so
to kind of centralize all those.
one of the ideas for these Zeely quests is like, I mean, I've done the airdrop farming for multiple projects. As usually just click buttons, but don't know anything about the project. So we're using this as a way to even like onboard new people to educate them, and also for people in the community that already know about it, they can like quickly pass through it and like use it as a resource center to like educate others as well. And I mean, it's great to see. I think a lot of you are trying out Zili for the first time. So I would really love to hear feedback, how you're finding the experience, anything, pros, cons, whatever it is, because it's like a continuous learning experience that we're doing with you guys.
Yeah. So, just to cap this off, also, Rumor has set up some forums on our Discord to talk about various subjects. One of those subjects is the Zeely airdrop. So, if you guys are facing any issues, if you have any questions, any ideas, make sure to share them in that forum. You can see it on Discord under Dabba Initiatives. That's the forum. And you will see the Zeely Quest, the Zeely airdrop campaign listed over there. The final recap. So you can see at the bottom of this slide, there is a fun little picture with a fun little device that is set up outside our office. So that is a weather station device that we are testing with right now. For some of you in the know, we are in talks with another Deepin project that I mean, we're already talking about it, so we might as well say the name. So we are talking to WeatherXM. So kind of a pilot project because we are already deploying our own hardware in the field. We're already running managed deployment. Um, we're already running managed deployment for a bunch of, I mean, for our own network. Uh, Adding in something like a WeatherXM to one of those deployments is it doesn't take any extra bandwidth, any extra know-how or or space on on any of the teams, right? So it kind of makes sense to why not try out expanding this managed deployment scheme to other projects as well, and kind of create some partnerships between those projects. Now we're piloting this on a very limited scale right now because we have enough on our plate to kind of take care of. But it's also important because in this ecosystem, in this deepen ecosystem, the more projects that we're collaborating with and that we're working with will obviously help us out as we keep progressing and as we keep growing. So yeah, super exciting stuff. We'll, as and when we have updates against this, we will keep sharing that. A bunch of us will be taking a trip to Shenzhen in the coming weeks, so we have to go to China to check out a bunch of supply details across our own units, across some of the WeatherXM units. So very hectic weeks ahead for sure. PS350 asks any way to get involved with the WeatherXM pilot at this point. Not yet. Like I said, it's a pilot. So we are going to first deploy across a couple of cities in Bangalore and we're going to manage it ourselves. Even though in theory we say it's easy and it's not going to, take away any bandwidth, we still want to run it for a month first, make sure we are confident with that, and then move forward. We don't want to make promises that we can't keep. The last thing we need is to say we're going to deploy another project and get stuck in that when we have enough work to do on our own project. So not yet. We're going to run it a little bit, make sure that it everything's working seamlessly, and then we'll open it up for people to pay for deployments for WeatherXM in the near future.
And to add to like basically today's experiment that we were doing, it was just a test to test out our APIs, test out the data, how it's working. So yeah, it was a successful experiment for sure. But let's see, we need to take it slow again with every project. They might have certain complexity layers, and like once we try it out, once we test it out, we'll open it up for everyone in the community for sure.
Yeah. I mean, see, we definitely see ourselves partnering with a lot of other projects, uh, whether it's, WeatherXM or even, projects within India. So you'll see, the recap of Hacker House that's going to come up next. There's a lot of deep in projects coming out of India, a lot of deep in projects that are growing in India. And the funny thing is, they're all in Bangalore,
Yeah.
and we all know each other. That's the funny thing. So, I've even mentored one of those companies that's doing really well. They're working on wireless charging, not wireless charging, sorry, vehicle charging. And, they got through Coliseum and, they just raised some money. They're doing really well. So, projects like this where, we can provide them connectivity, they can help us with logistics. There's going to be a lot of cross promotion just within the Indian ecosystem itself. We see that growing exponentially over the coming years for sure. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's call. First thing is Solana Hacker House. Yes, we just got off of Hacker House. It was a great couple of days, but I'm not going to talk any more about it. Instead, my alter ego is going to talk about it on camera. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it out. Hey guys, Don here. We're in day 2 of Solana Hacker House. We're out here in Whitefield, which is pretty much outside of Bangalore. We didn't get to shoot a lot of speaking content yesterday because it was just so hectic. We had our booth where we got swarmed. People were super excited to meet us, to get some merch, and yeah, it was crazy. I'm sure Narun's gonna put in a bunch of B-roll just to show how hectic it was. But yeah, one super big learning from that is a lot of people are excited about what we're doing in India, and we really need to start building up that ecosystem in India as well. Karam had a great talk on stage yesterday, talking about our project, what we're doing. A lot of great developers at this conference. So this is also a great way for us to reach out to new developers, also kind of kickstart some more hiring in the team as well. I also had a deep in panel at a side event yesterday. It was at a bar literally like across the road. So it was like a panel with a bunch of other deep in projects in Bangalore. It looks like Bangalore is going to be the hub of deep in projects for India. There's like 10 deep in projects in India, and pretty much all of them are based in Bangalore. And we all know each other. So great stuff happening. So today's day two comes on a panel with a bunch of other deepins as well, a bunch of other founders. We're meeting people from Super Team, from the foundation, gearing up for the Juke launch. Yeah, hectic times, but lots of fun. So stay tuned for some good stuff. We have a lot of great news coming in the coming weeks. So keep your eyes peeled, and yeah, see you in the next one.
I will let Pratik introduce the next team. Yeah, I mean, this is a very credible team. They've been in this adjacent industry for the last, I think, 10 years. Sorry? 8 years since 2017, I think, right? They've raised $5 million from Y Combinator, Multicoin, and a couple of other prestigious investors. They work with Google India, and I think they already have in their current avatar they already have like 1,500 hotspots live, and hopefully you will see them around in a couple of years everywhere. Huge round of applause, guys.
Blah. Yeah, that is our. Okay, I have to figure out how to. Yep, that was kind of our after movie from Hacker House. We're getting better at making these. Uh, but yeah, to summarize, Hacker House was great. It was a great way to meet a lot of dev guys. So we had our entire dev team out there. We took up an entire corner of the convention hall, and we got a bunch of whiteboards and just wrote "Dabba is hiring" on those whiteboards, and had like spot interviews where people were showing their GitHub pages to some of our devs to check out what's going on and what they're working on. So it's a great experience. One big takeaway is India has a massive community that's very interested in what we're doing. We definitely want to make sure that we involve the Indian community and build out that ecosystem more. So we'll definitely see more of that in the coming months.
So one thing we
Couple.
realized while this hacker house is that we've been in this space in 2016, right? And also we started in Bangalore. So we met two groups of people, right? One who grew up knowing about Wi-Fi Dabba, topping up their cell phones, and for them it was a nostalgic experience that to see us now in Web3, and they have also transitioned to Web3. So you immediately had a connection of people who knew about us, and they were like, "All right, that's great. You want to join them?" And that's one set of people that really look up to us, are supporting us, and also they are like obviously our potential clients as well, because as we expand our services and reach out to where they live, they'll be like looking for the Dabba connection at their homes, at their offices, and stuff like that. And the other side, other group of people is like a huge set of upcoming developers. These are people who are in college, coming out of college, passing out. Solana over here has made a great ecosystem general on ground support. So you have a lot of developers that are coming out of it. And for those of you who do not know about Bangalore as much, it's kind of like the Silicon Valley of India. It's like now it is the Solana capital, it's the super team capital. So everything is kind of coming out of here. And I see a comment here about other projects. So like like Don already mentioned, we were mentoring this project called Decharge. Also Bangalore based. They came out of Colosseum, Hacker House. Amazing project. They're focusing on electrical EV charging. We met Proto. Proto is like
And they made a bike.
basically the. Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
made
I
the
mean,
bike. They actually made a
they
bike
made
and
it. It
brought it
was
to
it
Hacker
was
House.
actually crazy. So Decharge actually made it an EV bike and brought it to the event. To the event. Everyone is shocked. It's like, holy shit, Deepin has come so far in India. It's not just people throwing around ideas anymore. It's actually people building things.
The funny thing is, yesterday the account of the founder got hacked, so they're getting connection. They're getting like famous right now. So when that happens, you know that people are paying attention, right?
Yeah.
Apart from that, who else? Like there's Proto. That's like you can think of it as the hype mapper of India. They've like basically covered all of Bangalore already. They've covered all of Bombay. Bombay is like probably the most densest city in the entire country. So they're growing out a potentially great project. We met Credible Finance. That's a RWA project. We had some interesting conversations with them. They wanted to know how our NFTs can, you can do some DeFi stuff with them. We can take our loans, etc. So that was like an interesting talk. Xtag, you can check out Xtag. That's like a AI-driven industrial assets. Like these are sensors that are working in the industrial sector, and that's again like just like Decharge. That's again a potential partnership that we are working towards, where different ways where our Wi-Fi connection is basically the base layer through which their IoT projects can partner up, leverage us. We can work together. And who else? I think there were like some farming projects. There was Farm Track IO.
Huddle
That's like
one.
Hardlo One. Yes, that's the DRTC network. Basically, think of it as your Zoom decentralized. Hey, Shubh is here. Right. So yeah, a bunch of great projects, bunch of great connections that were made, and potential partners in the making.
Yeah, great stuff. I mean, it was a great conference. I personally liked it way more than Indian Blockchain Week, if I'm going to be honest. Hacker House is a lot more concentrated with builders and actually people coming there with a purpose. So it was a lot of fun. Um, Velvet Doctor asked a question. I thought whether XM devices will be given or deployed as a bonus for people who will be buying, let's say, 10 double hotspots or something like that. Is it not like that? Is it like people can buy whether XM devices and double will be deploying them? Can we see some video from the conference? Huh. So first thing, yes, Velvet Doctor, nail on the head. That's the idea. The idea with partnerships like Weather XM is bundled offers. So you buy a certain number of doubles, and you also buy a Weather XM device together. So it'll be sold as a bundle. You have to get them together because also the important thing is. These WeatherXM devices need back-end connectivity as well. So there has to be a Wi-Fi Dabba that goes along with it. So yes, there will be some sort of bundle that goes with it. Can we get to see some videos from the conference? There you go. We had our little short video that we made. We'll be posting it on YouTube very shortly. Fizzy asks when DY Cat partnership and discount for DY Cat ownership. Yes, coming soon. We're talking to DY Cats. We just haven't had the time this week. Like I said, I've been under the weather. I've been down with the flu since Hacker House. But yes, we'll be getting back to that very very soon. On to
One
the
thing to
next one.
think of.
Sorry.
Your video is playing. Yeah. So
Yeah,
one
there you
thing
go.
to look at DY Cats is basically we have our initial ideas, but all of it will get triggered post our token launch, right? We can have auctions in the NFTs using DBT. So we're adding something to the treasury using use cases to our tokens. So we'll have like cross partnership leading up to the token launch, but the activations will obviously happen with our token once it's live on chain.
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, so I mean, we'll be starting a lot of these partnerships, but unfortunately, some of these partnerships won't really come to fruition until TGE. DY Cats, even though we will be, doing some sort of partnership with them, the actual fruition of that partnership we won't be able to see until TEG because we need tokens in order to make that happen. If there's some way to do that before TEGE, we would love to do it, but we'll have to measure and weigh things as we go about it. Okay, next topic, Jupe. Yes, I wish we had trumpets to play right now. Um, so Jupe is going really, really well. We've been having some great traction. Uh, right now, I think we're 7 days straight of being the top listed, in the top listed post on Jupe, which is really great. That means it is raising some eyebrows. It is introducing us to conversations. People are active over there, and the great thing is it's all organic traffic. It's a lot of you guys engaging with a lot of other guys from over there. So great work, guys. You're doing a great job in terms of commenting and talking to people. It's perfect. We want to have good, high value conversations over there. Level Doctor asked, what can you do from our side to push the Dabba project on LFG? Uh, just keep conversing on the thread for now. If you have other friends, introduce them to the project through this. You can share them the link, and if they want to comment, they're free to comment. But I don't think we should spam with comments like "great stuff," "great job," "great project." No, we want to have like meaningful conversations there, and that's where we're really shining. And that's why we've been staying at the top of the introduction page for 7 days straight. So what is next? So what's next is the core working group. There's a group of people of the Jupe community who have been kind of tasked in selecting projects for the DAO vote. So that is an internal selection. They internally select which projects move forward. They select a handful of projects. I think it's anywhere from 3 to 4 projects, if I have that right. And then those 3 to 4 projects will go to the DAO vote. The DAO vote generally is about 3 to 4 weeks after the selection. In that 3 to 4 weeks section, what happens is we then move from the Jupe research channel to their Discord. So we will have a dedicated forum on their Discord. We will start engaging directly with their followers. They will also bring us onto podcasts with their ecosystem, AMAs, a whole bunch of stuff. It's pretty much like a political campaign, right? It's literally like campaigning right now. So that's pretty much the process that's going to follow in the coming weeks. Now, yes, it is a bit of a process. Um, and I know some people are not happy that we're taking some time, we're extending the timelines for TGE again, but this is a good call, right? If we make it through on the launchpad, on the LFG launchpad, and if everything goes well, and if we just stick to the current traction that we have and just keep pushing forward, we're going to have an amazing token launch. So keeping that in mind, I think this is a great path forward. So yeah, so the job right now on all of us is, especially us internally at the company, is to campaign. So we're reaching out to a lot of people from different ecosystems, making sure we're having those conversations. They hear about our project, they're talking about our project, and making sure that message is being propagated throughout the ecosystem. So that's pretty much left on Jupe. Again, thank you guys so much. You're doing a fantastic job, in supporting this. Even though our community is small, it's a very dense, concentrated community, and everyone is very active, and that's what's really good. So yes, the next couple of weeks are going to be crucial and very exciting. On to the next thing. The last thing I want to talk about is marketing and our marketing initiatives in the coming weeks to months, because this is going to be extremely, extremely important. Now, we've been working on different, initiatives, working with different projects, bringing things to fruition. It's been going really well. Our sales have also been doing really well. We're just over 1,000 hotspots in about a month, which is way faster than what we did for season one. But at the same time, we know we need to get a lot better and a lot faster at this. So what we're going to do is we're also looking at different Web3 marketing firms. We're already talking to a couple of them. We will have probably two different firms that will focus on different parts of work that we do. So we will probably have a firm that looks directly at our supply side and a different firm that works solely on our demand side. So the focus out here is, looking at buyers and sellers across different deepen projects. This is where we're going to kind of promote sales. Where can we find people who have sold devices in previous projects, in the initial pushes for, say, Helium or Hive Mapper or Demo, right? Or all these other different deepen projects that have been very popular. Who are those people that have been instrumental in that? So we've already been talking to a lot of people in that space. That's really going to help us fast track our sales as well. So even though we're on a good schedule in selling units, the faster we sell, the better, right? We want to do 100,000 by end of this year. So we need to get better and faster at how we're moving units, and this is definitely going to help with that. The other marketing agency that we're talking to will help us more on building out brand and outreach. So think of it like they will help us with the with the Jupe campaigning, with really getting our name out there, with building out our socials, and getting working with a lot of influencers in that space to help us reach those goals. So yeah, the end objective over here is to really supercharge all our initiatives. We have some great ideas, we have some great partnerships that we're working on. Now we just need some fuel behind those fires, and these agencies are definitely going to help us with these things. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now in terms of marketing. It's looking very good and very hopeful in the next coming weeks with the work that we have in the pipeline. We are still actively hiring. We still need to fill in a lot of those seats that you can see behind Ankur. We still need more people in the office across different verticals. So there's not a team in the office that doesn't need hiring. So that is also a major focus point for us as well. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything we wanted to talk about. Did I miss anything? Is there anything I forgot to cover or touch base with? Ankur?
No, I think we covered most of everything. Yeah.
Covered pretty much everything. Oh,
So
and we went
looking for
overtime as
any,
usual.
yeah, as usual, we went over time, but that's okay. We're making a good habit of this.
Yeah.
Yes, so open to questions. Anyone who wants to come on the stage, join us, tell your ideas, have your questions, please feel free
Yes,
to
if you
just.
guys have questions that you want to type in chat, feel free to type them in chat. We'd love to hear your questions. Um, if you would like to come on stage, like Rumor said, and ask some questions, we'd love to hear your questions also. So let us know if you guys have any questions. No questions yet. Okay, Velvet Doctor is typing. We need to fill in the dead air while Velvet Doctor is typing his question out. And Studer is typing question. Nice, we have people typing in questions. Yeah, also, there are a couple of other initiatives that we've talked before on other working group calls that we didn't mention over here yet. That's mostly because those initiatives are still being worked out. We're still working on them. There's nothing concrete. Um, but yeah, we'll start. So what Rumor will start doing is over the week, every week he'll start introducing new topics on the initiative forum to bring in new topics. We don't want to bring in too many yet because I think Jupe and Hotspotty and Zali are giving that some importance is good. But yes, we'll keep introducing the different initiatives on the forum for discussion as well. Velvet Doctor, at the current pace, when do you think we'll be able to sell out 10K hotspots. So if we just go according to our current pace, it'll probably take us another 2 months to sell out 10K. Which is not bad. Season one, it took us about I think it was 3 to 4 months to sell out 1,000 units. Uh, Doing 3 months 10,000 units for season two is good. That means yes, we are progressing, and we're making leaps and bounds. But we're never satisfied, right? We want to go faster, we want to go harder. We know that if we can go full steam ahead and bring down any of the hurdles that we have now, the next season when we want to do 50,000 or 60,000, then it becomes that much easier. So that is the focus right now. Even though, sure, it's fine if we do 10K hotspots in the next 2 months. My team's agenda is how can we do 10K hotspots in the next week? How can we close it in the next week? That's what we're trying to achieve. So yeah, it will take some time, but we are definitely on it. Studer, really proud of the team and the marketing progress live made in such a short time frame. Yes, thank you, Studer. Yes, thank you. It's definitely we're definitely learning from a lot over the last over the last year. There's a lot of good learnings, a lot of bad habits that we're slowly kicking out of the door as well, and better ways of kind of streamlining processes that are definitely helping and making things move faster. So we definitely want to see that nice hockey stick graph of growth, and we want to keep that graph going. So we're on the right, even at 2 months to sell out 10,000 units, that's still very good traction and very good progress. But we want to be more aggressive than that. Welcome says, yeah, you guys are operating so well. Great job with everything. Thank you, Volcom. Thank you so much for that. That means a lot. Prasad, hey Don, nice to see the initiatives from Dabba. When will the lasers be out? Yes, we're not talking about lasers just yet. They're still in R&D. Um, we shouldn't I don't that's not really something we want to focus on right now. We'll probably revisit the discussion of lasers next year. Right now the focus is kind of on building out the network and making sure the network is running. Our token is out there. There's a lot that we need to build up for the lasers. Now that doesn't mean that R&D and work on the lasers has stopped. We do have lasers in the field that are being tested. These are live devices. We're not talking about thoughts in a boardroom. These are actual devices that we have in the field. But it still takes some time. Again, when we're talking about India and emerging markets and these kinds of hardware, we also need to work on scalable solutions. We need to make sure that these devices are cheap, they can be scaled, and they can be deployed easily. So we still have a bit to go before we get there. Velvet Doctors, I think you should really make it a point for everyone to understand that they don't have to deploy and manage the hotspots, and Dabba team will do it for them. They just need to buy the hotspot and sit tight. I agree. Our first attempt at making sure people understand that. So those of you who buy hotspots right now, when you click on your purchase on the site, and some of you would have seen this, a pop-up comes up that you have to accept that literally says. Uh, there are onboarding fees and we will deploy and manage it for you, right? We make sure that people understands this very clearly. It's still not coming across. So how are we tackling that? That is definitely a big problem that we're having. So how are we tackling that? Well, we have onboarded a new creative agency that we're working with. We're going to be reworking a lot of our creatives, a lot of our storytelling, some of our different parts of our site. We have a new learning page that's coming up to tackle these problems specifically. So yes, we are aware that it hasn't become too big of an issue right now, but we know that if we ignore it, it'll become a significant issue soon. So it is definitely something we're working on, because most of the people in Deepin are used to deploying by themselves, and it is a real pain in the ass. If you're solving the biggest challenge, then it should be super obvious for them to buy. I completely agree. Yes, we want to make it as obvious as possible that this is a Deepin that is deployed for you. So we are definitely working on that, and more of that messaging. You'll see more of that messaging soon, coming soon. Ankur, you have anything you want to add to any of this while I drink some water? Ankur?
No, not for this. Yeah, I think you covered most of it. Uh, you have another question.
Make some infographics and share on Twitter highlighting the challenges of other deep in how Dabba makes it super easy. Yep, definitely.
Yes.
Oh, that is definitely some of the content that we'll be working on and building on as well. Yes, we want to kind of. So there is something that I'm trying to get out there. It's taking a bit of time because it's a little hard to do, but think of it as the state of Deepin from our perspective, the Dubba perspective. It's a report on what is the state of Deepin from a demand perspective. That'll take some time to get ready. I would say it would take like another month for that report to be ready, but yes, more content on those lines will definitely help. I agree. Awesome. Does anybody else have any other questions? We're at 50 minutes right now. In true fashion of this working group, we're way above our talk time. But I love these calls. It really does, keep us excited, keep us grounded, and make sure that we're talking to you guys constantly. So it's definitely a lot of fun for us. Again, guys, if you have any questions, type it in chat. I'm gonna wait another minute until I see someone typing. If no one's typing, we'll call we'll call the call and close it for the night. Um, yeah, I guess that's about it. Velvet Doctor requested to speak. Yes, Velvet Doctor is on stage.
Hello?
I hope you didn't
Nothing
click
in,
on that
nothing
button by
in.
accident.
No, no. Am I audible to you guys?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So, I mean, I just wanted to basically, stress on this particular point, saying that, the more you stress on this particular point, like wherever, right, in any podcast that you go, in any, article that you publish, or any tweet and things like this, because when I and my one of my friends, basically, when we were deploying helium hotspots, like we started off when helium was like around 300 hotspots, right? So it was such a pain to first of all finding the people for hosting the hotspots, because you have to convince them so much. Like I used to be on the phone for hours together just explaining why they should host it, right? And still they are
Yeah.
like not comfortable with it. And you need to incentivize them. We used to pay them like $100 per month from our like normal salary, just because like we were so hopeful on helium and the number of tokens that we are getting in. That is why we were taking those risks. But I still remember like how tough it was to find the host, and then ship them there, and then be on the video call and explain them how to connect these devices, and how they need to maintain it. They don't have to do anything at all, but still they feel it like such a pain just to do it for like 10 minutes. And then like whenever if it goes off the internet, right, and then you have to follow up, like call them 5 to 6 times, just for them to just switch it off and then switch it on, just for. And
Yeah,
the hotspot does it everything, but still it's
yeah,
so painful dealing with people and hosting them. Still we hosted quite a few hotspots actually at one point of time. Like we deployed close to 50 of them, just through friends and family, calling them, doing all this, right? And when and for Dabba, that is the biggest selling point, or the biggest USP, right? Like even some of my friends right now are deploying for GeoDNet or some other deep in projects. Everywhere they have to do the work, and here
yeah,
you guys are doing the work. Almost all the hard work is gone basically. People just have to buy it and then forget it. Or else, like of course, like once a month you need to send the tokens to the LCOs or whatever, right? Like, however you guys will be able to do it. So this is the
yeah,
easiest thing that people can participate in, and this is the easiest deep in project where anybody from anywhere in the world can participate, and that's huge selling point in my view. Because when we were doing it, even though we had all the motivation, even though we were ready to take the risk and put in the money, still it was super tough. But for
Yeah.
this, like you have the money, you have the risk taking attitude, you can buy as many as possible and then Dabba team doing all the hard work for you. That's the biggest selling point in my view. And I think you should shout out, as much as possible regarding this point rather than anything else, rather than
Yeah.
any Wi Fi. All that is good. But end of the day, people want to know how easy it is, right? If you can
Yeah.
sell this particular point to them that okay, any other deepin project you have to work these are the challenges that you will face. But for Dabba, you don't have to do that. It's super simple. And I think that will even for the biggest whales, I think that would be a huge selling point for people. Is what I
I mean, definitely, yes. So two things there, right? There are two very important things that we want to start highlighting. The first thing is it's deepin that's deployed for you, right? It's managed deployment. That is a big selling point that we really want to propagate out there. You hit the nail on the head where uh, people in deepin, if they realize that hey, we're a project here that is deploying something for you, that is something major and something very big. The second thing over here is it's not just deployed for you, it's also deployed to paying customers, deployed where there's high demand for data. It's deployed where people are actually using the service. That is also an extremely important point. Sure, it is secondary to the first point, but the point is, especially with these market agencies that we're going to work with, one that I'm already talking to, and we're going to uh, we're going to start campaigns probably from next week. The objective over there is to kind of get more eyeballs from the deepen ecosystem. Taking a step back, we also need to change that. We need people to know that hey, we're a project, we're here, this is what we do, it's managed, it's deployed in places that people are using a lot of bandwidth, which means your device is going to get high usage, and you don't have to worry about it. So those are definitely the talking points that we'll be propagating, especially as we go through this marketing cycle for sure.
awesome. Thank you.
No problem, Velvet Doctor. A pleasure to have you on stage.
Yeah, thanks for coming up.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? Anything else they would like to? Did I kick Velvet Doctor? I moved him back to the audience, right? Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure. Okay. Uh, awesome. So, anybody else have any other questions? If they would like to come up and talk, we're almost hitting 1 hour. I don't want to, uh, take too much time. Okay, awesome. As always, thank you guys for joining in. It was great to see all of you over here. We are active on our Discord, so if you have questions that you want to ask later, feel free to ask those questions. We will always be around to answer them. Please make sure if you haven't already, go to the Jupe, research page. I think Ankur, you should drop in that link in chat so people can check it out. For those of you who have not already checked out the Jupe research page, please go to that research page, leave a comment, make sure it's a meaningful comment, talk about something about the project that you really like, or something that really stands out to you, and people will automatically engage with you over there and talk to you over there. So yes, make sure to do that. I'm just waiting for the link to be pasted in. There it is. So that is the link to the research page. If you haven't checked it out already, make sure to check it out. Comment, leave a like, and tell us what you think. If you have any suggestions, any ways you think we can improve it, we have the LFG forum on our Discord. If you guys want to put in your thoughts over there, let us know. Thanks again, guys. Exciting times ahead. Super excited about the coming weeks. There's a lot of work that we need to get done, but we're very confident that we will, get them all done as long as we're firing on all cylinders. So everybody have a great week. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Stay happy, and we'll see you guys in the next call. Bye bye.